Hello and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Eric May, and on behalf of OTC Markets, as well as our co-host Murdoch Capital Partners and TA Advisory, we are very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from White Gold Corp. Before we introduce our speakers, a few points to note. Please submit your questions in the question box to the bottom left of the slides. Once the Q&A session has ended, you will automatically be transferred into the White Gold booth, where you can continue to ask questions via chat and access additional shareholder materials. On a final note, all of today's presentations will be recorded and available for 24/7 replay. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome David D'Onofrio, Chief Executive Officer, Sean Ryan, Chief Technical Advisor and Co-founder, and Terry Brace, VP of Exploration of White Gold Corp, which trades on the OTCQX Best Market under the symbol WHGOF and also on the TSXV under the symbol WGO. Welcome back, David, Sean, and Terry.
Great. Thanks so much for having us here today. Really pleased to take the opportunity to speak to you about White Gold Corp. I'm Dave D'Onofrio, the CEO. White Gold Corp, it's a relatively new company that we formed in 2016, but it really has the benefit of an incredible legacy and some great people involved and a tremendous amount of investment. White Gold Corp is based in Canada's Yukon in the Klondike District. This is the area made infamous 120 years ago with the great Klondike Gold Rush. This area has seen over 20 million ounces to this day now been discovered on surface in the creek beds, but really no modern day exploration has been done up until just recently. And in that time, since this activity has begun, it's been tremendously successful and led to multiple major multi-million ounce discoveries that have brought in major mining companies to acquire these companies. It's really become a new gold rush, or a gold rush 2.0 as we like to call it. And what White Gold has done, it's gone and basically tied up this entire district. It's like going back in time to a place like Nevada or Timmins or the Abitibi in Canada and being able to consolidate an entire district. It's almost like a dream come true. So from my perspective, I'm with the Power One Group as well. We've been financing and investing in exploration companies for a long time now, and this is truly one of the most unique and exciting opportunities that I've been a part of. We have this basically tied up in one of the most exciting and prolific and underexplored districts in Canada. And what's been done, the guys that have done it, who make up our team, are here to speak to you today, have basically cracked the code to what we think will lead to many, many more of these discoveries. And in that time that we've been doing it, we've been incredibly successful. The company now has a significant defined gold resource. We're topping 1.8 million ounces. This is growing. We're continuing to make many, many new discoveries throughout our district. We've had two, super high-profile discoveries earlier this year, some of the best drill holes that have ever been seen in the Yukon, and these are brand new targets outside of our deposit. So, we have a situation here where we have this, great deposit base that we think will continue to grow. That establishes a lot of values from a corporate perspective. We're really happy about that. We have this tremendous blue sky opportunity, which is, very exciting. It's why a lot of people are in this industry to begin with. We have the team to do it. And to further validate the uniqueness of this opportunity, I think, if you take a look at our share register, you get a lot more comfort to see, this vision is pretty unique in that we've been able to attract some of the best mining companies in the world to partner with us on this endeavor. This includes Agnico Eagle and Kinross, Eric Sprott, also a shareholder of ours, along with the Power One Group, and some of the best mining exploration investment institutions in the industry. So, hopefully today you'll sort of see, why this is such a unique opportunity and why now is the right time, I think, to get involved with these types of companies. In the industry, there's been, tremendous underinvestment in exploration over the last decade. Producers need a pipeline of gold deposits to continue to be able to do what they've done, and the only way to sort of get that now is to start acquiring other companies that have existing deposits and new discoveries. I think if you look at what we have, it's a pretty unique profile. We're starting to see more M&A happen in the industry. So we have these deposits that are there, and our dream is that we're going to be, continuing to just basically from now where we're scratching the surface, explore this district for decades to come and continue to really unlock the vast potential of what we believe is going to exist in the Yukon. So with that, I'll turn it over to the team. Let them give you a little bit more detail on our project and sort of the success we've had in the last couple of years and what we have on deck for, I think it's going to be a very successful and exciting 2022.
Okay, Terry Brace here from the VP Exploration. This slide, I guess, just shows you some of the history. The white gold area in the Klondike Gold Rush, about 20 million ounces of placer gold production, dating back to the late 1800s. So, really we're in a prolific placer producing camp, and really not a lot of hard rock exploration has been carried out in the areas. That's kind of where we're focused in the Yukon. This shows our portfolio, very large land package, just over 30 properties, 21,000 claims. So really we have about 40% of the entire district. You'll see there in the brown call-outs there, we kind of group our projects into various stages. To the furthest to the right there, you'll see our advanced stage projects. Those would be the Golden Saddle Arc and the VG. Those are projects where we already have gold resources on them, NI 43-101 technical reports, and so on. And then intermediate to that, we've got our discovery stage projects. Those are ones where, we've done a certain amount of drilling and come up with some really interesting results. They would include things like the Betty and the Ryan Surprise. We'll walk you through some of the work we did this year on those ones. And then we have a large number of early stage projects. So, those are ones that we're continually trying to advance and, move the pipeline along and develop new targets. So, we're always basically advancing projects through the various stages. Okay, so this slide just shows a summary of the exploration work that we did this past year. We did diamond drilling on our white gold and the Betty properties. The white gold, again, that's the property that hosts the Golden Saddle and Arc. So that's really our flagship project. The Betty is a new project that we drilled this year and got some exciting results down there. We did some rotary air blast drilling. That's RAD for short, for the acronym. We did that on the white gold and the Bonanza properties. We carried a fairly extensive regional program again this year. Earlier stage type work, which would include geological mapping, soil sampling, geophysics, new LiDAR surveys to aid in structural interpretations and those types of things. And then we also did a new 43-101 mineral resource estimate update on our VG deposit. That's a project we acquired in early 2019, just really about 10 kilometers north of the Golden Saddle. So again, just adding to our resource base. Okay, so this slide really just shows a summary again of those advanced projects, the ones with the mineral resources. In the upper slide on the right there, you can see the conceptual pits around the Golden Saddle and Arc. And the table there, just to the left there, shows the resources. So you can see, the lion's share of the resources are basically in the Golden Saddle, open pittable, just about 1.1 million ounces. Good grade, 1.43 grams per ton. There's a small underground component to the Golden Saddle as well, but just about 21,000 obviously at much higher grade. But again, the underground hasn't really been a focus of the exploration work that's been done to date. There's certainly lots of opportunities for expanding the resource at depth. And then the Arc, we're looking at, another just about 200,000 ounces of inferred at 1.18. So anyway, like I said, that's our flagship project. And then the lower one there, you can see that's the VG deposit. Again, we did a resource estimate on that this year. About 260,000 ounces of, again, open pittable, good grade material. So that's really the advanced projects. Okay, so really one of the areas that we focused our diamond drilling on over the past two field seasons is this one called the Ryan Surprise. And it's a target, we're located about 2 kilometers to the west of the Golden Saddle deposit. And you can see it's one of a number of targets along that 6.5 kilometer trend. You can see the Yukon River is just off to the west there. So, the background map you're looking at here is gold and soil. So, again, one of a number of targets. We've been really happy with the results we've seen at the Ryan Surprise over the last couple of seasons. You can see some of the, drill highlights over the period 2018, 2021. An RC hole number one, you can see 20.6 grams over about 6 meters. Then you come down, you can see other intersections of just about 11 grams over 3.76. And one of our better holes was actually hole 18 that we drilled in 2020, about 8.7 over 12.3. So, it's really a combination of some high-grade material that would certainly be kind of underground type grades. And then you can see some broader intercepts there, like 1.66 over 25 meters. Again, more open pit type material. So anyway, like I say, that's been a target that we've been focused on. We really like to look at it. And we did some drilling there again this year, which I think the next slide will show you some of those results. Okay, so this is the modeling, the structural interpretation. We do our modeling in a program called Leapfrog. But basically, you can see, the red kind of outlines the modeled mineralized zones. We've got sort of the two trends. One's a bit a steeper dip, and then a more shallow dip. But we've been able now to trace the gold mineralization over a fairly large area. It's still open in all directions, so it's really just a matter of doing more diamond drilling, really to try to follow these zones and establish a potential resource area where we can calculate or estimate a resource on that. So anyway, that's a project that we're continuing to work on. This is the Uli's Ridge target. This is immediately adjacent to Ryan Surprise. If you look at the model in the right there, you can see Ryan Surprise on the right, and the Uli's Ridge is actually just to the south. So we did some early season RAB drilling there, and we're really encouraged by some of those results there. In the table just below, you can see, that 21 meters of 1.35 grams per ton, some higher grade material, 6.1 meters of 4.67. So what we did, we used the RAB kind of to confirm the presence and grade of the gold mineralization, and then we brought in the diamond drill late in the season to follow up, and we were equally happy with some of those results. You can see the cross section on the left there. We had 4.6 grams over 6.1 meters. Again, that was in the RAB hole. We drilled underneath that, and you can see a quite good intersection, like almost 7 grams, 6.94 grams per ton over 19.5 meters. So, again, these are more typical underground grades. The pink color kind of outlines the modeled mineralized zones. You can see a little thin purple trace across there that kind of intersects at an oblique angle. And it appears that the intersection that we did see in that diamond drill hole 4 is at the intersection of two distinct structural elements there. So, but anyway, like I said, we were really encouraged by these results, and certainly gave us the impetus, I guess, to continue on, drilling on the Uli's Ridge and the Ryan Surprise as well.
Okay, this is a map. I put a couple of maps. What the Uli's discovery really brought to the table was, what you could see the map on the left-hand side. That's the gold background map that's color-coded with gold with arsenic points on top. And the unique thing with Uli's Ridge was it had arsenic with the high-grade gold, like it had lots of arsenic. So we found rocks like this way back in 2003 and 4 when I was working this project, down by this teacher's trend up in the top corner. And there we actually picked up the same kind of rocks with, 1 ounce material with almost 1% arsenic. So that kind of grade, we've never actually found a rock like that, because historically the arc has some arsenic, but, with the gold. But so we always categorize this new trend basically based on it was arc style, but it's not. It's high grade, so that's what Uli's Ridge is basically proven, that this is higher grade material, which is perfect for mining. And we're finding the same kind of rocks at the teacher's trend. So now we could kind of show that we kind of pretty well have 6.5 kilometers of potential that we haven't really worked at all. And the right-hand side map is just showing you a chromium background, and that just shows you the different rock units. And basically where you can see under the call-out of Uli's Ridge, that's a chromium high. That's the mafic volcanic unit that we're sitting next to. But you can see how that arsenic, them purple dots of the arsenic, are sitting right on that basically chromium poor kind of structural contact. So we know it's tied to the sediments, basically the quartzite unit. So this is kind of the blue sky target to this project. We've always been working on the Golden Saddle and Arc, and then we've been walking into the Ryan Surprise a little bit, and then we hopped over to the Ulis. We found some nice, good high-grade stuff, and now, basically the chase is on to follow this trend and start focusing on that for the future to see if we could, find another 1 million to 2 million ounces on that trend. So we're in elephant country, and it should be a fun summer for basically prospecting and chasing this kind of target up now. Next. So the Betty here, what we're showing here is the Betty is on trend. It's a project that we've been working on for a few years. The last time we kind of really hit it with a diamond or with a rab drill was in 2018, but you can see where it's located. There's the inset map on the left-hand side. It's tied right onto the Newmont's basically coffee project. And what you see on the right-hand side map, that's a magnetic map. And really what you're seeing is the Coffee Creek Fault is highlighted. You can see where it is in this blue kind of zone that's basically running right into our Betty project. And then you can see this Dip Creek Fault that's blowing up through there. So this is the structural story, and that's what it's about. But the cool part about it is we're in kind of elephant country. You got Casino sitting there with, between Inferred and their basically resource, they're up to close to 20 million ounces. But it's a porphyry. But the coffee project, it's downtrend, and between its sulfide and its basically oxide component, when Kaminak had it, it was a little over 4 million ounces. So, the Betty's in the right part of the world here for finding big systems. So this is what we started. We put the first diamond drill hole on it this year. So you go to the next slide. And that's what we basically started hitting. We were chasing the rab hole from 2018. That was a gram, a little over a gram, over 50 meters. So we twinned it with a diamond drill hole, and we got like 1.17 grams over 48 meters. So you could see the rab was really working nicely. But the one that caught us off guard was a nice one, was the 3.46 grams over 50 meters. It's about a 100-meter step out. So we could see hole 4 actually didn't hit, but now you could see from our little inset map that we think we were just drilling to the south of it, and we're going to turn the drill around. The pad's still there, and then we're going to drill to the north on this target. So we got some nice potential coming up, and the pads are ready to go. The next one. So really, the Betty project is really about, it's a big mineralized system, and that's what we kind of like about the whole target here. It's got a lot of blue sky. So this is one a cross section and what some of the core looks like. But you can see it's a nice fat zone. And so now we're going to start chasing this target, and hopefully we get some depth to it and some width. And, this will add to the ounces to the district, especially with Newmont slowly moving the coffee project towards production there. So next.
Thanks, guys, for that overview. And, hopefully the listeners here can get a little bit better sense of, what differentiates White Gold here from a lot of the other companies in the sector. And effectively, it's a super junior, right? The size of this land package is, what would typically be owned by several companies within a district. This is all owned within one district. This is now, I think, the ideal time to sort of get involved. A lot of the regional work has been done. Sean and his team have sort of really cracked the code as to, how to define the mineralized systems. We're now in the follow-up phase where we're doing the drilling and making the discoveries. And the more work that we're doing, it's really increasing our confidence in our theories and the prospectivity of the district. And the company itself, and it checks all the boxes. You look, we have these great supporters. Agnico Eagle, they just recently increased their interest to 19.9%. We're now fully funded for our upcoming exploration program. I think the analysts on the street certainly share the vision. We have target prices all north of $2.70. The company, currently trades around 55 cents, I think, on the OTC. So there's a huge, I think, value opportunity here. From a risk-reward perspective, the company, I think, is sitting in an incredibly attractive position. We have this, 1.8 million ounces and growing. I think that underpins the value. We're trading at a discount to our peers on just that alone, and not getting any value for this incredible blue sky opportunity we have throughout the portfolio. We have these, very exciting discoveries that we've made in the last couple of years. That Betty discovery of 3.5 grams over 50 meters. Those types of bonanza holes are very rare, so we're able to work on that and follow that up. I think that's going to be hugely exciting and very closely watched. And we have a number of other targets that are getting into that phase where they'll be seeing their first time diamond drill programs ever. And some of these targets are very close to the Betty on that property along that same fault system like our Mascot, and some of these are at other new properties altogether. So we are raring to go here, very eager and very excited, and hopefully you will come join us as we continue to unlock the mineral riches of this exciting district in Canada's Yukon, where I think some more validation is coming as you see Newmont, the largest gold company in the world, Rio, coming in there. The government's investing hundreds of millions of dollars. This is a camp. Very early days of a camp is what we see, and we're just thrilled to be able to be the largest landholder there, and and continue to develop this area for decades to come, hopefully. Thank you very much for joining us, and I guess we'll open it up to questions now.
I see one question here from one person in the audience about our drill programs for this year, 2022. I think, obviously, the White Gold and the Betty properties will be certainly two of our main focuses. We may drill test, one or two other projects, but certainly, with the results we got last year, I think that's definitely going to be our focus again this year in 2022.
Another question, would you consider spinning out to a royalty company? That's an interesting question. With a package this big, we are an exploration company. That's our expertise. We're not a development company. So in our role in this sector, our goal is to make exploration discoveries and then move those to a point where we can optimize value for our shareholders, and then look to work with other parties to take it to the next level, which is through feasibility and development. Obviously, we have two incredible partners, which are major mining companies, and do it better than anyone in the world. So there's the opportunity for them to sort of take it to that next level. There's opportunity for other companies to get involved depending on the dynamic of the situation and how these assets might fit into their portfolio. And then there's other structures, such as a royalty company or a spin out with other parties to be able to advance these projects. So there's a lot of different options. Currently everything's going to be evaluated when the time is right, with the goal of maximizing value for the shareholders. At the end of the day, this insider group is the largest shareholder group in the company, and that's we're fully aligned with everyone else, and that's what our goal is here.
Another question concerning the takeaways from the Uli's Ridge results and the milestones for this year, but I think we were all very happy with the results from Uli's, especially with the high grade intercept there. I think it demonstrates that there's really, again, a combination of some bulk tonnage, open pit type material, but again, much higher grade material with underground potential. So between the Ryan Surprise and the Uli's Ridge, the two targets are right adjacent to each other, only a couple kilometers away from our flagship project. I think it just demonstrates that there's very good potential for identifying new areas that we can certainly build up some ounces that will really have a beneficial effect for the overall project and improve the economics. So anyway, we're very happy with those results, and again, I think it's really just a matter of more drilling and continuing to advance some of these targets along.
Thanks. I see another question here. How did you acquire all your properties? Actually, it's a good point. I sort of touched on it right at the beginning. So this area has been prospected by Sean Ryan for about 20 years ago. He went there with the thesis that you have 20 million ounces of gold lying on surface. That gold didn't come from the sky. It came from the ground, and there's probably a high probability of more gold being in the bedrock below. So why hasn't this been looked at before? Right? That's the obvious question. It's Canada. It's easy to get to, and I think the answer is this area, is not being glaciated, so there's not much outcrop, and outcrop is the typical tool, or sampling outcrop is a tool typically used by prospectors. And when the prospectors, normal approach isn't effective, they're going to go work where they know where their tools work. And John, he did the analysis and the data, and really came up with a unique way to approach it through soil geochemistry. And that was sort of the secret sauce of how he was able to identify these mineralized systems. And over the years, he's been taking up a number of these properties. He's been working with other companies, investing in the different playing blocks. And he had gone over that time to consolidate this whole district. So Michael now has the benefit of north of $100 million. And Sean smartly was able to consolidate this all. And, I think that's what we be able to do that is rare, especially in a jurisdiction like Canada. And that's, I think, what made the majors and the Power One Group so interested to be a part of this, because it's just so rare to have that type of opportunity, and, especially where one person has done all the work and has the data and the historical data on the entire package. Yeah, another question here, a little bit of time left. How are such widely spaced deposits, I can barely see it, able to be into one mine? So the reality is these deposits aren't that widely spaced. The gold and Sally Arc are basically touching each other. The Yuli's Bridge and the Ryan Surprise are a few kilometers away. And then our other deposit, the VG, that is 11 kilometers, so it's 6 odd miles to the north. And we've done some internal studies, and these could certainly be viewed as the same project and go into the same. You'd have one facility there, and they could all be aggregated into that same facility. And the economics there, we feel would be very robust. The next step could potentially be to do a PA and really demonstrate that to the market. And from what we're seeing, at gold prices even much lower than they are today, I think because of the high grade and open pit nature, these things could certainly make for a very successful types of operation. And then as you look through the rest of the district, it depends on how the camp evolves. Let's say the Golden Saddle goes into production, Newmont's Coffee goes into production. Now you have multiple facilities here. And what we typically see in advanced gold camps throughout the world, where the infrastructure, which is coming into this district, you see the dotted line on our map, that's called the resource gateway, where the government's going to upgrade these goals. Now, whatever you find can be trucked to one of these facilities. So we'll have a mill on one site, heap leach down at the coffee. But really, you don't need to find a multi-million ounce deposit for economic now. As long as you have an infrastructure to truck it to one of the operations, that's going to be economic ore. So that's really when the value of our district, I think, will take another quantum leap up, because that road really unlocks any type of deposit that's found throughout the entire portfolio. I think we're coming up for 30 minutes here. Any other questions? So thank you everyone very much for joining us. I encourage you to visit our website. There's some incredible material there, particularly some great videos which will help really give you a flavor for the district that we're working in, and some of the work that's been done. A lot of maps and more information you can find it there. And of course, feel free to reach out to us anytime. We're always available. Contact information is on the website, as well as the portal to set up calls. Really grateful for your attention. I think this is a very exciting time to be part of the gold industry, particularly in the exploration side. And really hope that you continue to follow us and stay tuned as we continue to do some good work out in the Yukon. Thank you very much.